Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the Farm and Ranch Report. Well, the agriculture business is one of the most dangerous occupations there is. In the blink of an eye, a routine task can turn into an emergency with help more often than not over an hour away. This week, we attended a grain entrapment rescue training in Huntley organized by Molson Coors, United Grain, and Viterra. They hosted about a dozen rural fire departments and brought in Brian Fries, a safety and rescue instructor from the National Education Center for Ag Safety. After some classroom instruction, they got to practice hands-on training in how to remove someone trapped in a grain bin. I asked Brian, what do farmers need to know to avoid a grain entrapment situation?
The best thing to do is to not go in the grain bin. I understand things happen. We have issues with the grain. I get it. The best thing you can do for the grain is to make sure it's stored properly. And if you got to go into a grain bin, make sure there's somebody there with you. So if you get in trouble, they can get help to you. If you can get the grain bins where they put the anchor points in and tie-offs and start using harnesses and stuff in your bins, that's going to make it a whole lot safer.
Wade Malchow with Molson Coors told me why they felt it was important to offer this training for rural fire departments.
Well, we wanted to offer this training to our local rural firefighters because they're the first responders in many cases to farm accidents, especially in the grain industry. Grain engulfment is a big deal. A couple dozen people die every year in this country that are engulfed in grain. And so our objective here, working with Viterra, United Grain, and Molson Coors, was to put together a session to give our local volunteer firefighters the ability to train up and do some hands-on work with the equipment that it takes to extricate the grain and rescue a person that's engulfed.
Well, thanks for being here with us this morning. We'll see you back here shortly for the markets.
I wanted to put up a fence to protect my tomato plants. So I grabbed this, and then I did this. But instead of yielding a big crop, I hit a utility line and had to pay $1,200 in repairs. I didn't just lose my pride and joy. I could no longer afford the new stovetop I'd been saving up for. Next time, I'm going to make my free call to 811 before I dig.
Learn from Curry and hundreds of others. Call 811 before you dig.
Welcome back to the Farm and Ranch News. Well, next week we'll be in Miles City for Montana Range Days. The three-day event educates youth about the importance of Montana rangelands with workshops on the range followed by competitions, and there are tours available for adults as well. Whitney Hickey is leading the planning committee in Custer County and told me why it's important to educate both youth and adults about Montana's largest natural resource.
I believe that everyone should take the time to learn about range, understanding pretty much what to look for, the good, the bad, and being able to educate the next generations of farmers and ranchers in the area. Even adults can take away information from this event that they can use and implement on their own places as well.
Well, the futures were closed yesterday for the Juneteenth federal holiday, but markets have been under pressure this week. We are looking towards tomorrow's cattle on feed report that's expected to show marketings 5% above last year and total inventory down 2%. The weigh-up cow market continues to trade strong with very good demand from packers. In Miles City, the cows sold $1 to $3 higher from $135 to $148, bulls $155 to a top of $189. The feeder lamb market at Pays was $5 to $15 higher this week, with bigger lambs meeting the best demand. 70 and 80 pound lambs from $250 to $270, used sharply lower from $53 to $64. And the wheat market has done little but fall in June. Helping farmers stomach the losses, though, has been some pretty good rain coverage with potential for more. Cash 12 Pro winter wheat right now ranging $485 to $535, 14 Pro spring wheat from $540 to $610. That's it for today's Ag Report. Enjoy your Thursday.